Tonight, a former police officer with the city of Tampa thinks that school resource officer did the right thing by waiting outside. ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska just spoke with him and joins us now with how he's backing up that claim. Michael.
And Jameson, an officer telling us that he thinks that school resource officer was waiting for backup. He says the system in its entirety failed all of those 17 kids in South Florida. He says you cannot blame that single deputy.
You don't say that you're wrong, that's why 17 children died. You can't do that to an individual.
Jim Diamond is a former SWAT team member, firearms and explosives expert. He's been shot at and he's fired back.
Now he's got a situation coming down around his ears and you expect him to run in without anybody to cover his back? I mean, that's unrealistic.
Diamond says the sheriff should not have suspended school resource officer Scott Peterson for his reaction during the horrific shooting.
I think is inappropriate. I think that's scapegoating the deputy.
When we in law enforcement arrive at an active shooter, we go in and address the target.
Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel says Peterson called in on his radio but never went inside the building. Diamond wants to know if the deputy, who was approaching retirement and working in one of the safest schools in the country, had been trained to respond properly to an active shooter.
You don't think he already feels guilt?
2 other deputies are on restrictive duty as Internal Affairs looks into whether they followed protocols amid the 23 calls they received involving crews since 2008.
And one incident where he was possibly untrained or emotionally ill-equipped to deal with it is going to mark him for life.
And the sheriff admitting that Peterson was outgunned. All he had was a handgun late tonight. The sheriff saying that every single school resource officer in the schools in that area will be armed now with AR-15 assault rifles and make them visible in the hallways as well. We're live here in Tampa tonight. Michael Paluska, ABC Action News.